Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games and a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2019, Pro Cyclist mode, episode number 5 with our stage racer. See, we're now at a 71 overall as we get ready to head into this one in the fitness, now hitting 90%. We're going to be moving on to the Tour de Normandie. Stages. Looks like we have a Prologue to open and then a whole bunch of sprint stages, which really don't favor me terribly well. So we'll see what my role ends up being for this one, but definitely stage 1. We're going to be looking to try to attack this Prologue as best we can and see how far up the standings we can manage to be. Lars Vandenberg, is on his fitness peak. There's Andre Grivko, the favorite, right in front of me. I'm going to be coming out here right after him, and you'd feel that we should be well over 90% with just 5K to go, but it's weird how this game is sometimes, so we're going to need to make very, very quick adjustments. And we're coming out strong, coming out really strong. Now we're into a headwind right now and slightly uphill, so we need to back off. It's going to be, there you go, there's a downhill section here. This will allow us to get back on board. And now we're starting to be in good shape again to attack to the end. We're going to have the wind at our back. Should be a little bit easier as we have just over 1K to go now. And we accelerate 99 to the end. Push, 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 push. Thiago Machado on top. I'm not even in the top 20. Wow, 21st, 20 seconds down. My objective, though, is to get in the top 50. I'll be in the top 25, so that'll be a good evaluation. 20 seconds off the pace, not looking that great, but this is not the kind of race for me anyway, so my position won't make much of a difference in the standings. Thiago Machado with that top time right now at 6:05. Marco Mathis on same time. Alexander Krieger and Andre Grivko third and fourth, with Russo rounding out the top 5. I believe I did finish inside the top 25 there. Yeah, 24th. Highest of my team, 21 seconds down after Machado's time is rounded down to 6:05 flat. That's a very good evaluation, and so that's worth 16 points. Nice. Especially by cracking that top 25. That's a full step above what they were expecting for me. Brings the manager's satisfaction back up a bit after we've had some time off from our last race. It is already late March here. Now, since the last episode that I recorded, I've done a little bit of studying up. I still have some more to do, but as more information comes out about the game, I deepen my knowledge a bit. If I hadn't mentioned it on this series before, literally the day after release, I left town for a family reunion for the weekend, so I scrambled to get all the work that I could done beforehand, all the recording that I could get in, and my fitness back at an 88% today after being at 90% yesterday. I think that's because I rested for the week, and that was the last day of the week, so I believe I took a break for the week to make sure that my fatigue wouldn't set in, and actually that's kind of a good thing because I have learned that you will only get 3 fitness peaks per season now. Based around your objectives, it doesn't unlock until 8 weeks before, and that's all you're going to get. It is affected by those skill points on what you do there, but we'll move into that discussion a little bit later. We've discussed somewhat already in the previous episodes, but here, stage 2, 190 kilometers, and there's nothing going. So we'll skip pretty late on, and I'll find out what my role is with the team kind of once we get moving. But I doubt we're going to be terribly strong in the sprint. So my placement inside the top 25 could maybe have me as a leader outsider, but I doubt it. It's all flat. It's sprint stages. You need a sprinter to gain whatever time they can. But maybe I get co-leader with that sprinter? Maybe? Possibly? I have no idea. We'll find out. Alright, so we have 54 kilometers still to go in this one. And while I don't expect much fireworks for this race, there is something. And it's something we're going to try to push and go for. Now, as we ride with these 50 kilometers left to go, it's all sprint stages. The sprinters are going to take it. Our sprinter, short backs, he's got that right. He's going to get that opportunity. My best chance is in my role as leader outsider. They want me to finish in the top 30 overall, which I'm there right now. But as these sprinters come along and steal seconds, they could take time away from me. I could easily get myself into the top 10 or 15 if I can just steal a few seconds. Once or twice in this race. This is going to be our first chance to try to go for it. There are 4 riders in the break, but they only have 45 seconds. Chances are, if they're caught, it's not going to be that hard to catch them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all 5 of these guys, myself included, and I'm going to set up a sprint train, and we're going to attack. Now, the unfortunate thing for me is I have no idea what these riders are like. But looking through, Bowman's, I know a little bit about. He seems to have good acceleration and good hills, which means he's a punchy rider. But he's got, and the only reason why I know this is I know a little bit more about those features. So I think those are his better attributes, or at least that's what I've kind of gathered so far in this. Van Bockel, his sprint and acceleration, there's nothing there. I mean, he's got hills and downhill and flat and Barrador. So that's your breakaway rider. Otema, no flipping clue. And same with Decker. So, Bowman's the one that I do at least have an idea on. I'm going to follow him. And then Van Bockel I know has got nothing for speed, but he is a +3. So, go ahead and give him that. And then Decker. Now, our -1 guy, Otema, we're going to use him up first. Now, Otema is down the field a little ways, so I'm going to attack him pretty hard. He's going to go 96. Bowman's is actually right there behind him, so he's going to bring Bowman's up. We have 12K to go. I'm going to use these 4 guys to try to catch up to the break, and then run a sprint train for me that I can then contest and hopefully get 3 seconds or 2 seconds or 1 second by at least finishing in the top 3 here. Alright, so we ride on board now with Otema already getting that job done. He has cut 20 seconds out of that lead. There we go. Bowman's finally in place. 7 kilometers to go. Otema, you're done for now. You can just relax. Okay. Cancel. Attack. Go 96, Decker. There they are, just 30 seconds away, but we're down to just 6 seconds to catch them. We have to catch them because there's only 3 placings. So I've got to get beyond those guys. And right now they're trying to hold the lead 20 seconds now. Okay, Decker, take that a little more. There you go. Okay, you can relax. Van Bockel, your turn. 4K away. We're going to go Maybe 95. It's 19 seconds now. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Koistra is pushing, going for it. 96, 2.5K, 97, 90, 99, go 99, go 99. Ooh, hey, we are off the front right now. Sprint point 1 kilometer away. Van Bokkel's job done. Bowman's, give me that lead out. Okay, and then I'm going to sprint. Over the top. Peloton's all together. One other rider contesting. I got it. I got it. Out of energy. That was timed well. Now, I'm not in the points competition or anything like that. I mean, that was just straight up, I wanted 3 seconds. I got 3 seconds. So, now, instead of 21 seconds behind, we're going to be 18 seconds behind. Field coming back together. There you go. Now we just need to get to the end of this race. We'll move on to the motorbike here as we've still got 30 kilometers to go, so we should recover relatively nicely for that. And we're seeing some yo-yoing in the group here at the front of the field. It's actually doing a little bit of damage, so hopefully with protection from Decker there, I will recover enough to get to the finish line, because that would be pretty bad if I end up losing time. And right now I am struggling with that actually just a bit with 17 kilometers to go. The field attacking hard. I thought there'd be enough time to recover. Oh man, 11 kilometers to go and I am very low on energy. Let's go ahead and ride back on board. Gel?
While the pack is getting close to the finish line, everybody seems to agree that the stage will be won in a sprint.
Oh, there you go. Recover, recover. Good, good. Little downhill right there. We got another little downhill to the finish. I'm not contesting the finish. Well, maybe I will. Hang in there now. It's 4.4K to go. Let me see. Do I have any of these guys? Van Bokkel. He's got a little more. Decker's just about to crash out. So let's go ahead and go with Van Bokkel. Help get me there, buddy. $3K to go. 2.5K. We should be safely into the group now. 2K to go.
And the final sprint is off. Who's going to be the first to the line today?
Okay, sprint to the finish. We're completely out of contention here. That's why I went for the sprint point. Aaron Gate takes the victory over Grossu, Maldonado, Gessner, Christophe Laporte, big name there. Ryan Cockard in 10th. And Nasser Bouani is somewhere in the field as well. At least I think he is. Because there's Nathaniel Berhani. For Cofidis. I think I saw Bouani here somewhere. Stuart Bax only manages to get 15th, by the way, so sprinting is not exactly a strength of our team. But here's that key thing. I pick up 3 free seconds in this one. The tricky part will be making sure that I don't get dropped in future stages, as I am a little bit weak. So 32nd on the stage, no time lost. But I should be 18 seconds down now. I am 18 seconds down. And yet, I'm in the exact same position I was in. This is that tricky part, okay? I was 21 seconds down. So, Thibaud, I've overtaken him. But somebody who finished on top of this stage, picked up 10 bonus seconds. And that was the part that I was worried about, getting knocked down. I definitely want to stay inside the top 25 as best I can. And in order to do that, I do think I'm going to need even a few more seconds. Because from here, a few more seconds, that's going to be quite a few placings, depending on where Harada, Perez, Kasperwick, not familiar with that rider. Glad I basically got his name after butchering it the first time. But that would give us that, 3 to 4 more spots in the placings. And then at that point, I'd feel pretty secure that we'll finish in the top 25. But holding on to that top 30 is not a given at all. Good evaluation, no points though. As we're just focused on the overall, so that'll come at the end. Boy. Yeah, I used up a good amount of freshness in that one stage. Something I'm going to need to work on here over time. 30K to go. We're going to get there pretty quickly on this one. Not much action. It's a very, very short stage, just 86 kilometers. There was only the one sprint point. There was actually only 2 riders away, but it was a setup where we just caught the other riders just before. They kind of sat up just before. It was not a position to kind of get into it. So 20 kilometers to go now. And I may get myself a small team here for the final kilometers. And actually, we got this hill coming up. This would be a good spot to kind of gather my group while Bax does one thing and I go for another. Go 99s. We'll do that same thing as before. I think it was Bowman's who had a little bit of speed. It was, even though he's on a -1 today. So we're going to get Van Boekel working right away. We're already underneath 10K. So I'm just going to try to do a sprint train. I don't expect to finish in the top 3. I really don't, but it's worth a shot. Doesn't hurt to try.
Sprinters are positioning themselves up front. It'll probably be a mass sprint finish.
If we could get these guys through the pack a little bit.
A rider is flat on the road.
This is the prime spot to try to attack, but getting formed up here too late. Alright, so that's going to bring us over the top. Unfortunately, Decker is pretty tired from just getting into position. We do have a split in the field, so there are going to be some riders losing time. 4 kilometers, and Van Boekel, it's full speed on this downhill. Two and a half K. 2K to go. He's got no speed. Why don't we try the next guy. See if he's any faster. Yeah, he is. Want you to sprint.
And they're off. It's going to be very fast.
Didn't even use my gel today. Don't matter. Decker might get something out of this. He's certainly ahead of Bax. The real sprinter, the only real sprinter here besides Nasser Bouani, who, yes, he is here, but he is working for Laporte. The only real sprinter here, Brian Cockard, takes the win. I managed to go 28th. Literally, oh no, not literally, last place on the team. Van Boekel was 41st. But we did end up with a smaller than complete group, so there will be some riders losing time. And some of them very well could be in the top end of the standings. So could we gain some positions? It's possible. Let's see, where's that cutoff going to be? They didn't make it. They didn't make the cutoff, so only a few riders lose time. There was definitely 2 groups on the road, and it had been for a while, but I actually do move up 1 spot, 23rd now, so 1 of the riders that lost time, the few. 18 kilometers left in this stage. Pace has been really hot, so there's been some damage. There are riders that have been dropped and are well behind. As we come up on the end of this one, it is going to be a bunch sprint. My role today, free element. So they didn't even give me the leader outsider today, as they're trying to give full support to backs and support of trying to get stage win here. So they apparently earmarked this one as the day to go for it. So I'm going to basically cruise home on my own. And though I'm tired, I should get there just fine. We have one little uphill section here, but it's not steep enough to do any damage to the field. It's only a 70-kilometer stage. 11K to go. Coming up on a little uphill section here. You can see it's only 4 degrees.
10 kilometers to the finish line.
Less than that through most of it, just 3 degrees. So rolling into town, preparing for the finish. We're just about the top of the hill now, and then we'll be heading downhill to the finish. It's flat going in. Right up near the front.
You see that? You can read the pain on the faces at the back of the peloton.
6K to go. Coming up on the 5K banner. In a good spot, but unfortunately no support. Vandenberg, I can't use him to lead me out, or Bowman's, or anybody. So no lead outs, so no chance of actually getting anything today, but we'll try to finish as high as we can, because that count back certainly does matter. Here comes an acceleration. Nope. Next, fake acceleration. 30 riders in the peloton breaking away here. Putting myself into position to attack this one. And sprint. Can I get a top 10? Can I get a top 10? There goes Bax. He's our sprinter. But even I look like I'm just about ahead of him. Maldonado takes the win. Gate. Bax takes 10th. Vandenberg gets 12th. I got 13th. Bowman's get 15th.
We're waiting for the tailenders who continue to arrive.
Laporte and Cockard were 5th and 6th. Buati, we haven't even seen him in the top 20 once in this race. Definitely some time splits though, so we'll see if this has any impact on the standings with anyone going backwards.
And here are the race highlights that we've selected for you.
Same time, same time. 89 riders on same time. Still 23rd. But not going backwards again, so that's good. Cockard now just 1 second out of the race lead. Machado used to have it. Grossu's also moved up the standings with those time bonuses. Gate has moved up with the standings. Laporte moved up some. He hasn't had his best race. But we continue to hold serve. We're not going backwards, at least. profile on the next stage. I still haven't had any opportunities for any sprint points since that first sprint stage, aka stage number 2 out of 7. But here on stage 5, that's 47 kilometers in. If it was a little bit earlier, I could use my team to attack immediately and not allow a breakaway and then give me a lead out and go for it. 47, I'm not sure that that's close enough. 120, not sure that's late enough to reel in an escape group, and also not sure that I'm going to get enough support from my team. One thing though, I'm starting to get the first reveals. Bax a 68, Bowman's a 67, Lars Vandenberg a 66. I'm starting to learn a little bit about my teammates. And I know all about Brian Cockard, but that's a world famous sprinter, so of course I know about him. Final 25k rolling through town right now into another flat finish, but it wasn't flat all the way in. So there has been some damage done. There have been riders left behind, and we now have 82 in the peloton. I am going times 4 speed as we get down to the final 17 kilometers. We just reeled in the breakaway group, which included my teammate Otema, and I just discovered that myself riding alone just got dropped. All in the flat. 13k to go. Hopefully we reel these guys back in, just a few seconds away. Looks like they have sit up a bit. I was cruising along in full strength just moments ago. I don't know what happened. I thought we were about to reel them back in, but we have not. Buoni trying to pull. There you go. We finally see Buoni.
The riders are entering the last 10 kilometers of the
Groups back together. Groups back together. Come on, let's bring it home. Bring it home.
The sprinters are positioning themselves up front. It'll probably be a mass sprint finish.
I'm in the middle of the pack right now. Now I'm in the back end of the pack. And there's a split again. We'll see if under the actual sprint they pull the groups together, because they've been doing it all race long. It's only the groups that get dropped 30, 40 kilometers out and actually lose time. Or we'll see if the team should regret their decision to make me ride alone, as I'm only a 60 on the flat with a 58 stamina and a 20 resistance on a -1 race day condition. 4k to go. Still seen in a separate group. That's 45 seconds down, but I'm at the gap right here. That's the gap. Now it's closed. Now there's actually starting to be an actual gap opening up. Somebody sprint for me. Somebody sprint for me. 1.5k to go.
The strong men are giving their all.
To the finish is Christophe Laporte, finally claiming a victory. Slight gap, but you can see there's still a few riders inside of it. Nasser Bouani finally gets inside the top 20. Cockard, just 10th for him, struggling today. Short backs, 19th with Decker and Vandenberg right in front of him, actually, so the lead out train. Our sprint isn't going anywhere. I'm at least in the top 25. I sure hope that the team did not screw me over on this one. We'll see here in a moment if the standings hold. There's still 2 stages to go. And ever since pulling me off of leader duties and just putting me as free element, this race has gone really sour, both for me and the team, as the sprints haven't been even as high as when I was team leader controlling most of the riders. No sign of a time gap so far. Still no time gap, still no time gap. There we are. Okay. Finally, something that I find to be a little bit stupid finally benefits me, because normally it benefits others. Normally I'm finishing in the top 15 of a stage, and then you see gap gap, gap, and then it all comes together. Well, finally, I'm on the back end of that, and I'm still alive. I dropped one spot to 24th, though. I don't know if that's Nascentini just getting the count back ahead of me. It probably is. Or if it's one of those sprinters moving up a little bit higher in the standings. 20K to go. And here we go again. For one thing, breakaway group was 7. They're still off the front, but only just. And they've just split as well, as half the group is attacking. Slower half.
Whoa, there's an attack from inside the breakaway group.
The peloton is attacking hard, and it is wearing down the field quickly, including a rider like myself who just has really, really low stamina resistance. I need a level up, and I need it soon. Peloton's shrinking pretty quick, 78 riders. I'm not so good on my own here under these circumstances, but we go under 14K to go, so I'm a bit fresher than I was last time, and hopefully I'll hang on. We're going to speed up to ×4 for a little bit here as we continue to ride on board. Still have not brought in those 7 riders, but they come back together, and there they are. Full field now together. 8 kilometers to go. We're at ×2 speed. I am hanging in there now. 6K to go. Let's go ahead and take a standard view for this one now. 5K to go.
5 kilometers remaining.
3K to go. We're going to use our gel. Slow down, normal speed. 2.5K to go, and we're starting to see things string out to the front as those guys go for it. I am nearly out of energy here, but finish line coming. There's the 1K banner, and sprint is on, and I'll be in a good position this time. Back's in a much better position as well. He'll finally have a top 10, but Brian Cockard, the best sprinter, takes the stage. Kankowski second, Gate third, Bax gets 7th with Vandenberg 8th, Christophe Laporte all the way down in 12th, just ahead of me in 14th. One final stage still to come. There was no opportunities, there was no sprint points, no mountain points on this stage at all. So we'll see if there's anything on the final stage, any chance to steal 3 more seconds. But at least I stay in the top 25. 20K to go. Final stage. As long as we get there in one piece, we should finish in the top 25 unless we have an unusual trio, but we'll definitely have our top 30 that was required. Now, breakaway group, 5 riders. They've nearly been brought back in. They pulled back ahead just a little bit, but they just went through the final sprint point moments ago, and so they were attacking that. But you can see that the peloton is chasing pretty hard right now. Schlegel at the front. And this time, while I'm a little tired, it's not as bad as the previous stages. So just 15K to go. And we're going to speed up a little bit as we bring it a little closer to home. Kind of downhill from here. One unfortunate thing for me, and this better not affect me, as... There you go, we're past the point of getting water. Good. Whoever went back and got water for the team didn't include me on that. There weren't even any splits. So I never got water. That really sucks. But whatever. I might be their team leader, but they sure don't act like it. 3K to go. 3K to go. Let's slow down. They're sprinting already, really. Sprinting to the end. Gosh, I never got anywhere near the front. Maldonado, Kankowski, and Gate again, so no new faces. No change there. Cockard finishes 5th. Laporte 13th. Vandenberg was our highest finisher in 19th. I got 42nd on the stage. Dang. I thought I was a lot closer to the front than that with 3K to go. Bax was 31st. Not his best day at the office. But that'll wrap up this race. We should have that top 25 secured. So we'll kind of go straight into things and see where we're at. Get that final evaluation. Same time, overall, 24th. There it is. Cockard wins overall over Gate. And then Laporte, Grossu, those guys all got those time bonuses for finishing on top of various stages. Good evaluation. 15 points. 3 points of satisfaction. Still not a great race, but what were you expecting? It was all sprint stages and one little prologue, and I'm just not there yet. Now, my skills soon will be leveling up. Obviously, attentiveness is done. Now, this is really low bang for your buck. It is not big. But if you are going to do attentiveness in your own pro careers, do it immediately. Don't wait. Because every level you wait lowers the value of it even further. And there are definitely some other things that are far more powered than the attentiveness. But in the long term, it is experience points. Free experience points. And it's really hard to turn that down. It really is. But if you do it, you've got to do it right off the bat. Or never. Or at least very early. Or never. Because if you do it later in your career, you're not gaining much from it. All that time gone by without that bonus. Okay, now training, I've learned that tiredness does work differently. We are really close to a fitness peak, even though I'm only at 88%. We're probably going to hit it this next week at this rate. You've got to break at least once every 5 weeks, otherwise you'll just get tired, period. And then train hard, pretty much exclusively in between. It looks like we are going to hit that peak soon, no matter what I do. Bad thing is there's not really any races through this stretch. Maybe I need to take one more week off. Make sure I don't actually go up. Switch this up. Break there. Rest a little bit on that one. Just a few days. Need an actual break, so let's put it in there. There's where we're finally hitting something. And apparently, we can hit that slightly hard if we do that. If we do it here, if we do that. We have to take 2 weeks off to get... Alright. Well, anyway, that's all the way to August already. We'll worry about the end of the year after that, but first objective coming up here really soon. No wonder we're going to hit it. A couple little hill stages and a time trial. So in the standings department, how are things looking early on? Viviani leading the World Tour by 500 points right now. Cockard leading the Continental. Doesn't surprise me one bit. Very strong rider like that down here. Not the only one though. We are 72nd. I have 45 points. And in the Super Prestige, I'm probably way down the list. I am. Outside of the top 250. 362 with 20 points. Woo. All right. Well, hey, it's a start. It's something. We've got a lot of work to do, though. Level 5 should be coming soon. I actually will be picking it up tomorrow. Let's just do that. Let's wrap up with that. We'll wrap up with leveling up because we are at the end of the month. So as the new month ticks by, we're going to get our natural progression, and boom, 65 points instead of 50. That's that extra 15 points every month, and we have leveled up. Skill point, and we get whatever various improvement. Next level, we're going to open up some new category races. Stage races might be a thing to go with, but I need that stamina and resistance. So let me see what happens if I change this. I already like that level better at this point. Time trial only goes up by 1 instead of 2, but the acceleration goes up by more, the resistance goes up. So I'm losing 1 but gaining 2 points elsewhere just by going to climber. Time trial takes 1 away from mountain at this point and adds more to prologue and time trial. Don't need sprinter. Puncher could always be a good way to go because we are going to need hills. So I'm going to push for hills a bit more than I did in the last one. And Northern Classics actually could be a thing that I'm going to spend a little bit of time on. So stage races is not the way to go this stage. Puncher kind of looking like the right way to go. Let's do it. Okay, so attentiveness out of the way. Like I said, do that first if you're going to do it. Otherwise, don't do it. Other things, the charisma, the network, the info, passion, observation, I'm not worried about any of those. Stealth, eventually, but not until way down the road. Technique, same. It's going to happen later. Super leader is good. Curious about quite how it works, but it's going to come later. But it's the performance ones that I'm going to turn my attention to now. And they're going to have the bigger impact. Training, that's going to affect things like throughout the season. Fitness peak, it's a little overpowered. A lot of people are going to start right there with that one. Probably should start with that one. I'm going to wait for that. Though I have a fitness peak that's about to hit. Here's what fitness peak gets you. It takes you from 12 to 18 days and stretches your fitness peak longer. And it immediately goes 18 to 22. That's actually probably the first one I should get. The next one's a little less powerful. But the training is the other one, and I do want to kind of focus on that. But let's get the first level on fitness peak, and then I'm going to do all 3 training points, I think, after that. So there you go. We have leveled up. Let's move forward one more day, and new responsibilities. You're now one of the key components of the team, and I think it is justified that you have your say in the choice of teammates. Follow you in the same race schedule as you. I'm not going to put in any requests this season. There's nobody to get into. But it's April 1st, and they're already talking about the 2020 contract. I've heard that this is different. Now I see it for the first time. These last few weeks, I've had contacts with several teams, and I've prepared a list of those with whom it is possible to envisage a contract for 2020. You can see it on contract page. Indication of the team's interest is displayed on this page. This interest can increase until August, either by you achieving remarkable results or by you giving me the time to work on the dossier of one of several teams that you have targeted. If By that, you have from 1 to 4 contacts of interest, numbered depending on the network skill. I'm not worried about the network skill, by the way. Not now, anyway. That you must use at the start of each month on the contract page. They allow me to know the teams with whom I must work, and at the start of the following month, I update you on the evolution of their interest in you. Remember that it's from August that we shall start to receive firm offers. The higher a team's interest, the greater the likelihood that we receive an offer from them. So different from the way they did contracts previously in Pro Cycling Manager in the Pro Cyclist mode. And I like it. I like this change. I like where this is headed, but I'm not even going to look into it until the start of the next episode. So we're going to take all that on next time. But with us having moved forward, let's see how we're looking. It still shows me as a 71 now. 71. No, that's still not updated. Still not updated. It was today, so I've got to get to tomorrow to see if there's a change to the average overall. But either way, we're looking better. And look at that. I'm starting to get an idea of some of my teammates more and more as we continue to ride with them. Still some guys that we haven't even seen, so I know nothing about them. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.